Esports Global sticking with what they showed last time as well, but it also works very well for Bleed's style and their roles.
Yes, it does.
Yay on Jet.
It'll be so exciting indeed to see this. I
saw that
cannot wait. Let's get right into it.
I missed
That's
everything
number
else,
2,
but I saw
Icebox.
Yay on
Over
Jet.
to Quack and to Aserai.
Oh, we're about to see.
He's got his moment.
Yeah, this is it, surely.
That one game ago. But when you put him on that duelist, his signature role here, Quack, can this turn the tide?
We might have a side-by-side comparison
If he doesn't,
between
then,
his
you know,
Jet
bye-bye
and
Bleed.
the
Hello,
Viper,
India.
and I imagine it might be pretty different.
I can't wait to see what
Okay,
happens,
Bleed
right?
on
We've been
defense,
talking
GE
about
on
how
attack,
Des was hyping
Yay
it up,
on duelist.
before the match
We
started.
get
Kobe
Harbor,
versus
okay,
Yay.
nice comp.
It just didn't quite
And then this is the comp
deliver
again
on,
that struggles to plant, but
Sunset,
at least
excuse me.
I saw enough
But
from
onto
GE to know that
Surely
they
you'll
understand
deliver.
that
Yeah, it put us
they
on the
need to
loop,
take
definitely,
Snowman
where it felt like
sometimes
there
and they
was
need to take A
such a
site.
different pacing that we're not really used to. The tempo
Recon
was
over towards B.
everywhere on that first game, and it felt like Bleed also felt that as to how they just couldn't really outmaneuver Global Esports. That's not taking away Global Esports. That
This
had
alarm
a
bot is so far to the left
phenomenal
that
first game.
Killjoy
Anyways, as the
could,
pistol
with the Viper
starts
smoke,
to go
luck
here.
through middle. Obviously
Contact
doesn't
will
know
be
that,
at
but
A
we'll keep an eye on
site.
if it
Very
happens.
low.
Lovely first
Dart
kill.
coming in from Blaze King. It might
Nice,
actually have
Molly.
hindered,
Okay,
a
and we
lot
do.
more of the
Smoke goes up,
information
Killjoy in the
gathering
luck.
that was being hoped for here by Global Esports.
And wait.
Bleed now starting to march their way up into the push
Oh, okay.
here. Benkai gets immediately spotted, not yet gutted, but he's getting pushed out, and his teammate is not gone.
Alright,
Fast is
spots.
holding on.
And this turret's
to get
good because
repositioned
on
as
top of
well.
the box here, it also
Has the
spots if you
spike
go into
plant.
window.
Not yet done. I thought they were going to be pushing for that A site, but with all this happening, they could rotate to B.
I think that's their option. They don't really want
In terms
to
of pistols,
stay.
GE
They're no
obviously
longer welcome on the A side, especially Benkai
undefeated
down
so
that
far
low.
on this one.
Just a bit of question marks in the minds of the Bleed
It doesn't shoot
players.
window.
Have
It
they
does if it's on the
rotated?
box.
Clearly, now that you've pushed
it's
out
on the
belt
floor,
and
it
cleared
doesn't.
out the corners, you're
If you
anticipating
crouch,
that. They know
oh,
they've got
interesting. You
numbers
might be right with
advantage.
that for
They've
sure.
got the shock dart, got the high tide, the cove. They're gonna come in with this retake.
Oh, that alarm bot is deactivated. It just came up right now. Lightfast is aware, but
Yeah.
Durion's too quick, and now Benkai
Lucky
is
timing
7
with that.
HP.
Maybe.
And he's an aim
27.
monster. Another one at the flank. That's going to be Egoist. His turret is up, so
Times
if
the
he gets
recon
some
well.
breathing space, maybe he can actually close the distance and utilize
Oh,
it.
it's
but
unlucky. It's a nice try on this.
He just decides to
Okay.
go for those gunfights, which makes a lot of sense since Crazy
Bleed.
Guy was already
Get
in
in
the
a
site
pistol.
itself.
1-2-0
Work out.
all together.
Bleed claimed their first victory, or first round.
With that carrying forward through, just trying to keep themselves warmed up in this chilly Icebox. I mean, we saw how the pistol round goes off, and it's just a better setup towards this site. You've got Scary watching as they push through. Global Esports can't really just dive in that freely anymore. They could do that a little bit more on Sunset. You know, they were set up around elbow. They had the get-go. This time, not so much.
Egoist. Yeah,
Global
surely it's
Esports,
egoist, right?
They've gone for
Wait,
the
they
spot.
force.
I mean, it was an expensive round on both sides, and
Okay,
they got the extra money
and
from the
so
plan.
we've seen them do this in the other game,
Alright, I
and
wanna see Outlaw
it might be
country,
because of
maybe.
the outlaw priority, and the
This
outlaw just
Outlaw
thinking that
can
most people are going
really
to
make some
prioritize
damage
guns on
on
this. And
either
again, we have
side.
some people that can one shot, so they
Push up already
could
from
snowball.
Russ
This
here.
is a very
And
important round
closer
right
and
now.
closer. He hasn't gotten the most value off of his KO as was being
All of the Killjoy util
pointed out a while or
goes
a day
out.
ago by the desk.
That's a nice first kill.
Scary finds one. Durion still holding the mid lurk just in case.
Oh, now they know they
The
bought.
full blown push of Global Esports here on that A site. Blaze King. It's not gonna work. Fortunately, plant will commence. and the
Russ
post
tanks
will
a
happen.
shock dart.
I mean, they've already got
It's
the
a
numbers
good
advantage,
plant,
dwindling Global
but they
Esports
have
as
vision
try to push
block,
into
so
this
Viper is the
fight.
VIP
Hours
at the...
by,
Well, I
it's
say
not
Viper's the
gonna be
VIP, we also have the Cove.
Good shot from Polby, though.
Oh,
Oh, it's a big flash. There you go.
oh, it was a nice
That's what
flash.
we were
Recon
looking
on
for.
this to
Blaze
see if
King
anyone's
throwing
sticking.
the utility
Shock as
inside
well.
the smoke.
And the nade.
Gets himself an advantage here, repositions. They don't know where he is, and you're absolutely right. Polby's outlaw is something to be
Damn.
feared about as Global
They're
Esports
doing it.
dismantling the defense and making this force buy work out in their favor.
Okay, they're
What a
doing
way
it.
to bring
The
things
force
back.
buy with the
Global
outlaw
Esports
manages to
coming
actually
in.
connect on the
First
two
of all, you
people
have
that
the
had light
outlaw.
armor
Second
as
of all, like
well.
the flashback that you
Good
just
plant once they
mentioned,
got that
Aserai.
one in, and then they had the util as well for once the Cove was up.
Really know how to play
Lovely,
against this. I mean, we
lovely
did see
KO
Global
flash
Esports
through the
play
wall
this,
as well.
you know, just
I
a
know
few
the
days
timing was a
ago.
little bit off, but
But
still really nice.
I don't know. know. It feels almost as if it's not enough game tape for like he had to set it up just yet. I mean, this retake completely throwing Bleed Esports for a bit of a loop.
You know what? It makes a lot of sense to
And Bleed, even though they get a pistol,
to contain,
it's
or to
another
have
rough
the
start
outlaw.
for them.
Because if you think about it, it works on both ways. Even if you win the pistol round, right, you're usually going to have half shield Bulldog, maybe half shield Spectre, because you don't want to commit the full buy and, you know, quote unquote waste money. But if your opponent realizes this and you buy the
I think that, yeah, I do think the potential
shots,
of the Force here with the Outlaw is worth exploring if you're on a team. Because what he's talking about now is true. Majority of people are, instead of prioritizing like heavy armor Spectre,
is a deadly
a lot of people are just going for the Bulldog's light armor. So
on the other side,
I do think it has some legs. It's like one of those anti-things. It could be worth if you know a team has tendencies with their buys.
Just stop the spike plant happening.
Traders?
It's so messy. Look
Oh,
at this,
what the?
It's not only something that's got his elevation.
There's some damage being done here. Everyone is low HP that I'm looking at.
They were able to pick up a couple of weapons.
Okay, really close round in the end. Great damage from them.
Out so well for the Benkai comes in from a swing all the way on screens. And that's going to be a complete shutdown. Global Esports get themselves another round. And, you know, the weird pacing that we were feeling from
I think
that last
Pacific
game
teams are better than
feels like
NA
it's
at the
gone
moment.
here.
I'm
Global
telling you,
Esports
NA is another
are
breed right now.
running
Americas is
rampant in the
another breed.
Icebox
It's the level out there is something we've never seen in like from so many teams.
On to the next round, though.
It'll be interesting to see how EMEA looks, but I don't expect it to look anything close to it, really.
Coming in. However, if Global Esports changes things up, you know, play for some long-range duels with Pulvi's Outlaw, try to pick off some of
Big
these
buy round now.
players,
Bleed.
just might be able to keep their lead.
And don't forget, there's no healer here. So if Pulvi can just even
Not even Fnatic. No, there's teams that compete with there's teams that are on like the same level as most of the American teams, like for sure, and Fnatic and stuff should still be like winning or at least like top 3 at most of the events. Same with like Paper X and stuff like that. But overall, the Americas teams, like they're good. Like even the bottom 3 Americas teams could, in my opinion, from what I've probably seen, is beat most of the like high mid Pacific teams. And I reckon it might be the same in EMEA. And probably China.
Down, but here comes Crazy Guy information.
Oh no! Actually,
see it.
Yeah, maybe no information gathered. Pulvi and Ye.
Here.
They're just barely missing each other here. Ye's holding a different angle. It's just one thin piece of metal. There's Ye, but he unleashes
That's
the
a great
entirety of
recon
this.
as well.
Durion's been exposed to the back of the site.
30 seconds
Might not be long for his world.
Did they? I'm pretty sure they both got hit with the knife, so they know there's 2 here. It's a lovely Lark again. The Vipers and the Larks for GE at the moment. Benkai on Sunset. And then on this one, lightning fast over towards B on Icebox. Big buy round. Bleed. No money for the next round. 2-9 loss bonus, so they can get a pretty good low buy.
Apart from that, I mean, just right now, these guns, the way that they're pushing in, being so patient, playing around with Bleed setups. I don't know about you, Asteroid, but I feel like I need a timeout pretty soon because Global Esports are reading them and knowing exactly how to come in for the site push.
And what's good about this is, you know, talking about side pushes and everything, is Global Esports isn't leaving Pulvi to push by himself to create that outlaw.
Russ is IGL, but they were saying at Convergence that Russ is IGL, but Benkai helps a lot with second calling.
Coupled with your teammates. And I think Global have been realizing
So he definitely has like a,
so we're seeing
definitely has a voice.
the fruits of that ideology come into full swing as of now. And Pulvi hasn't really
Marshals are out. I'm not expecting the Marshall madness that we saw in the Genji Paper X game, because that was insane.
Because he has blades and so on and so forth. That's going to be a call on the timeout. Did not expect this to happen, but it makes a lot of sense because Bleed, they're starting to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Pulvi was checking all the Killjoy setups as well. Oh, interesting.
So timeout or timeout being called, and it's going to be Bleed to figure things out, just like I mentioned. I mean, we haven't, you know, we're hyping up this pick on Jet for Ye, but we are not seeing too much just yet. You know, in the pistol rounds, he hasn't really been able to.
I imagine so, Turtle. We have to wait and see, but
maybe back then on the chamber,
I think it would be impressive if most EMEA teams are looking
at
the same level as America's.
They haven't really been put in a prime enough position, right? You're
I would
always
be surprised
catch
if
up,
they
you're
are.
always defending, being so passive, hiding back sight. And then that just gives Global that much more space to execute.
I believe Boostier, when he said 100 Thieves' current team has a higher ceiling than most teams. I mean, yeah, most teams covers the right amount. At least he didn't say every team. Most teams? Yeah, it depends what you say for most, really. Good wording by him. But I think they have a high ceiling. Kind of agree with the fact they have a high ceiling.
It makes it so that Ye can't really get that first pick and then back.
They got some interesting roles at the moment. There's a lot of pressure on Cryo for smokes. Okay, anyway.
Have to try to deal with
Double Marshall, one hero gun.
Again, addressed by them in these couple of rounds.
Yeah, I guess now that he's got a Marshall, maybe you're trying to find some kind of a sneaky pick. Then again, Polvi trying to do the same thing with the Blade Storm. But right now, Fleet just trying to make sure that Global doesn't get to execute on A as many times as they've done before. But that's it. I mean, all of these utilities, even with Scary's Toxic Screen, it doesn't block off enough.
They got closer now. A couple of body tags. Ye is in trouble. He's pulling out a couple of those smokes.
Yeah, Polvi pummeled him there as well with the Outlaw.
Being thrown apart here by Global Esports.
And then I like this. Bogdan.
It gave the weapon to
Russ low, so he gets the
every single play that he's
Outlaw
got.
even.
The rest of Global now pushing all the way onto B, where no lick.
You've got Egoist though, so he might be able to hear
30 seconds, and this is a comp that struggles to plant, but we have no one here to actually stop this. Again, if you're playing against this GE comp and you want to be a nightmare, Odin over towards B, and you can just lock down B the whole time. They can't plant. You make sure they have to take over towards back site.
Spraying him down. And now numbers advantage.
Kind of works for your ranked games as well if the teams don't have a Sage. Odin over towards back as Snowman.
Just waiting for Bleed to peek into them.
Polvi's just been put in a pedestal where
Is the one.
Polvi do go
Did
things.
not have dash. He popped his dash over towards A.
He does. So scary up against Bleed. He might have overextended his welcome a little bit with that peek of his, and this coaxes.
Oh boy.
With the reckoning, and
That's a classic. Lightning Fast has one molly.
What? Use on that dart, and
Egoist is doing it all. They're all low HP. Oh my, the Cove timing. Damn. 0.02. I mean 0.2 even. Still equally just as close. That is that's a bit of a blunder. That is a bit of a blunder if you're GE here. I mean, how has Egoist managed to do this? Does the stun come off at the right time? Oh, he has some nice shots on Russell.
It throws them off. Global Esports
oh, and the recon on top.
Ego is making use of that timing to push up front with the classic.
That is,
and as soon as
they
pick
stole
up the
around.
Benkai, try as he might, can't stop the incoming onslaught.
It was because of the Cove too. It absorbed.
Yeah, there was some good util. The ult, the recon, the Cove,
decision making by Darian.
the shots,
and a huge mishap on Polvi. He swung out to like 3 people from Bleed checking him out. Which
they have no idea these two are here so early.
Polvi though.
They probably kill this guy backside, but then you would expect them to both go down.
Crazy guy right on top, but
Russ did great.
Immediately gets the refrag. Dust settles. That's gonna be Scary alone. Man has been.
Well, instant reply. They win a round once again, and they get a lovely 1-9 loss bonus on top of this no money.
He was clutching quite a bit against T1 as well, but man, right now it's 4 targets on a map like Icebox with the spike planted. I don't know how you can clutch this round out. And apart from that, again, it's the same problem. This A site, Global Esports. First of all, you got Russ with the suppressive knife from KO, and it just blocks off or gives him enough information. Ye has not been having a good day whatsoever, and that just softens up the site so much. As soon as Ye falls, the rest of Global Esports just decides that they can rush in.
This Joe might come in at the end.
Crazy guy to be perched up on top of
okay, that's Viper.
But that's about it.
Would they want to put Viper into this?
You know, even Crazy Guy, who we've seen before in the past, he's got these counter
Probably.
recon darts that allow him to spray down as soon as the opponents try to go in for spike plants. He's not able
You think
to do it right
FNS
now
used Ye the best?
only
Oh,
one
they
left on
were.
site.
Their whole plan was
So
about
Bleed
setting up
Esports,
the
I don't know
chamber.
what the timeout was about. Timeout was
Like
about
it
from
was.
before, but we're not
It was
really
a lot around
feeling it
enabling
just
him.
yet.
I think with all of what you mentioned, the one biggest takeaway for me
It was a
has
different
got to be
time back
Russ.
then, though.
He
Chamber was
I think, very shaky,
beyond
you know, with
busted.
that match that they've had against Zeta, but this time it's all very much different. Crazy Guy, you were talking about how he's got some nasty setups.
Russ
There it
keeps getting
is.
some important
Melvin
kills.
Man
It
is
wasn't the
available
cleanest
here
duel,
for
but
Russ to utilize to make
still
himself
counts.
into a
Prodigy,
very
thank you so much.
strong
Thank you, thank you.
Force. Even though he's
Love
down
the
30
gifted.
HP, shouldn't matter as
Realistic
much as,
meow,
as long as
welcome
they
in.
can use him to batter the ram into that A site. But it's a cut of noise for now. They did hear the Viper Pit was activated elsewhere, so maybe a strong inkling that it is B, so no need to push there anymore. And Durian, ooh, what a risk that he's taking right now. They are just right underneath each other.
God, this guy.
Spotted.
Surely
Does
that
he
guy
know about the
swings.
belt person?
Okay.
He does not. Blaze King comes
Ooh.
in.
Dude,
Ye
the
does
trades
get
are
the
pretty
one
good
kill,
right
but
now
it
from
is
G.
all for naught here, Quack, as Benkai gets the trade. That lockdown is still up and
They
running.
have their own
Doesn't get
ult
any
into
detains, but
this.
it clears out the rest of this site, so we do have a clean 3v2 in
So
this
Viper ult goes down.
Russ is
They have a
pretty
killjoy ult if
low.
they want it. Russ, they know is low.
Has the lockdown. Might be
Benkai.
able to use it to push Global Esports back. But then at that
Chat, where did
point,
they
it
end up
comes down
planting?
to
I was
gunplay. How
minimap
can
watching.
Scary and
It's a good plant
Egoist
though, right?
break up the site well enough.
Oh,
to
Heaven
sneak
plant
the
as well?
They managed
Nightmare.
to shoot out some nano swarms, but at the same time, Toxic Streak can only stay up for that long. Benkai tosses in. Oh, you know, Lightning Fast.
Oh man, they
tosses
got
in
everything.
more, and,
The
well, at
KO
this
Molly,
point, you're
think it
running
missed
out
the
of
mark,
time.
but still went
The
over towards the
lockdown
right area.
invested,
Lightning
but
fast
no
Molly as well.
returns.
Flashed in.
Asteroid,
Yeah.
this hurts for Bleed.
GE.
Yep, very much so.
Good on the
It
trades.
feels like they have that really good setup, and then there's just that one mishap that changes everything, right? That one thing, and then it all just gets unraveled by Global Esports. And man, this is the performance that GE truly was hoping to showcase, right? It's these strong individual pieces that have their spot. Russ is IGLing.
We get the
Benkai's
knives
ability
out
to
for
create
Ye.
those tempo plays, Polvy's star power.
Got
from the
3
Finnish
people that
scene.
can't buy
It's all
next.
coming together here
GE's
in
money's
this
getting out of
elimination match,
control. They're
and
pretty much in the
it
point where they
looks
can
like
buy
they're
for the
in a
rest of the
team
half.
to eliminate
Obviously, if they lost like
the
3 in a row.
Ascended team from Ascension.
What a
See.
story. I mean, again, you know, everyone's talking about Ye. We keep interviewing him and whatnot, but still not quite feeling it.
Double flank.
And as we go back in, we're back into the same A play.
Yeah, we've got to keep
Got
our eye
Benkai
towards
lightning
middle,
fast
because
up
this is the
towards
first time we
mid.
have 2 people on middle here. And
But even then,
Crazy
you know, talk
Guy
about a plan
playing
gone
out in
wrong
the
from
open
before.
with his ult
Darien
gets traded once
didn't really know how
again.
to respond either.
That's no
when he
Sova
pushed
ult for
up.
this round.
Now it's Polvy.
Polvy, what a position.
Traded again.
And again, they were just waiting for that wall to drop down before they start exploding into the site. And it feels like this plan has been replicated, changed up a little bit, but still the A
Trades-
site is
trades on
where
trades.
GE
Like,
find
they're
their home. Sure,
doing-
they've rotated a couple times to
They're
B,
making sure that
but
Bleed can only
here
get
on
1
A,
kill
Bleed
every
have
single
no
time, it
true
feels like.
answers. They will get the 1 kill, GE gets 2. They'll get 2 kills, GE gets 3. What is the answer right now? Ye's on his blades, and there's really no reason for him not to go for this. But with the doubling up of these 2 players from Bleed and that spike positioning not really to his favor, man is in a tight spot, to say at the least. And
Ooh, completely shut down.
yeah,
Really nice
I mean,
round from
what did
Russ.
you expect? That was a
I like the
3v1.
idea from
Nobody
GE
from
actually here
Global
to have
was
the double.
showing themselves up
I don't know.
until
I don't know if they
very
had some
last
kind of
encounter.
read into this, or if
El
they're just going
Diablo
to
or
double
El
luck no matter
Hermano.
what, and they were just
I don't
fine
really
with
know
one
what Hermano
person
means,
dying.
but-
But
Oh, okay.
the trades are,
As a
Still,
Filipino, I
yeah,
can't tell
this. And again, Crazy Guy.
it's just Global Esports
just
in this
with the
A
ult
hit,
going
it's
down.
so darn good with the way that they've got 3 players covering each and every lane.
Yeah,
And sometimes, you know, like you mentioned how they switch things up, sometimes they just hold up around pipes and play around with the timing of things. And then Darren gets invited, he gets a little bit too curious, gets punished for it. I almost kind of want to see Bleed Esports change up the pace. I kind of want to see Bleed Esports push out. But then there are so many factors to consider, so that's Another reason why, you know, it feels too risky to make something like that happen. You've got the operator invested in this round. Global Esports starts out the first few seconds with a bit of a default hold in case there is such a push out. Not that there isn't, back towards A.
At this point, any Hail Mary that Bleed can try to do, feels like they should do it right at this point. They've been so pushed far back that there's not really a lot of options they can use. Look at how all the defenders are here.
What do we got? 3 people in light armor
but then
for this
nobody
gun
is
to
there
work?
playing on the site itself, right? And since GE haven't found that contact, they're like, something's amiss here. We have our teammate Blaze King pushing up on Garage right now, so maybe with like 40 seconds left.
Okay, and Blaze King, so they're going to cut sound over towards A. Blaze King's going to do a drone over towards B. Let's look at the rotate. Well, pulls one over.
Global Esports has
That's it. Only Sova goes
But you know
over,
what?
but he also
A
has his
has worked out so
ult
well,
that
they're
could
just gonna keep
potentially
going
help
in for
towards
it.
A here.
I
30
kind of like the
seconds.
positioning from Bleed
30
this time, playing
seconds
so
This is
far
looking good
back.
for Bleed, to be
Let
honest,
them in,
especially
let's see
if
we can
Crazy
kill the
Guy
spike
comes back and
planter,
pops his ult.
Play around with the timings of the retakes. Make
Bleed
sure
would have to mess
that
up to
Global
lose this
Esports can't
right
really
now.
feel too comfortable, even
20
if they have
seconds.
won this site so many times before.
They're
15
running down the
seconds.
clock very, very much.
It's all about the Sova ult.
Nano Swarms could provide some indication of denial.
Okay, they still have time
Egoist
to plant here.
damn good on that one. With
It's a
the kill
nice
here
ult.
on
I like
Obi.
it towards the left side.
Late
Do they
lurk
have
from
any idea
Blaze
this
King.
guy's here?
Dart presence known
Yeah.
outside of screens.
Yeah,
If he can
yeah.
get a couple of picks, that should be lethal for him. While his teammates on the side are fighting back, and Blaze King somehow manages to pick up Crazy Guy.
Oh,
Dorian does
man,
get the
really?
refrag, but that
They're
is
so low
time
HP, though.
wasted for the favor of Global Esports. Coming in back onto the site. Viper's Pit makes it very difficult for them to push up, but they found lightning
Tried
fast.
to
That
flash
pit's going
through.
down. Time is ticking. Benkai's still alive. Did he press any late nano swarms?
Yeah, yeah.
And Russ is also doing the same with the fragment.
Wow.
They're buying as much time as they can. Russ pushes up, gets denied.
Okay.
Spike. Ooh, I don't know. It's close.
It's fine.
And it's barely just defused there
I agree
by
though, the round was
Bleed.
close.
Point
It wasn't,
They somehow
considering
managed to gear,
if you paused
or
that
to
at like
grind enough
20 to
gears,
15 seconds and you looked at the
grit their teeth
ults
for
and
that defuse as
util,
well for the round win.
shouldn't have
Just
been
a
this
second.
close.
I mean,
But
this
still
is
a bit of a
very
worrying sign for Bleed.
funny in contrast because the way that Global Esports played post-plant in this round is exactly how Bleed Esports would have played it, you know, just a year ago or two, especially on a map like Bind. The post-plant lineups, you got the nano swarms, you got the fragment, and it just burns down so much. But that said,
The
even with
attack
the Viper's
op,
Pit up,
Bro,
Bleed at the very
Polvi
least,
attack
because they
ops
played so
and
far back,
attack
they were
outlaws
able to
more
play
than-
around with the timings like I
I
mentioned.
mean, it's like we're
and
in,
get some,
it's like watching
frags
Chinese
in, right?
Valorant.
That's what they really need. Softening up those defenses as soon as the spike goes
And this
down.
is the first
Now,
round that G have kind of
Global
lost
wants to
over
change up
towards
the
A
plan.
for a little
EA
bit, so they
is
decide to
positioned
go
for
over
this.
towards B.
Surely
Drone
he
should be coming out
delivers.
before anyone
Blaze King
pings the
can
angle.
use
No
his-
way. Oh my goodness.
Yay!
Sleeping.
Man got the opportunity to do so, but he whiffed the shot, and now he might be forced back here. And
Damn, bro.
I don't know, man.
There are no words.
That was a big mishap.
There are no words. It is what it is. We keep going forward. Global Esports have been doing such a good job. You know, whether it's bits of timing or just the sudden peaks out, they're able to react so quickly to take him down. But guess what? Crazy Guy comes back in with the Guardian play. Spike not down yet, but surely soon enough.
What
And
the?
Bleed are trying to wrap back in around this, make them feel uncomfortable.
Turn the tide activated here from Durian, forcing them into the
Man,
embracing
what a
hands of
flash.
Crazy Guy. He's been good on the Guardian
Okay,
for
they
two,
take down the
but
raid
he
boss
can't convert
from
it
this
into the
round.
third.
Can Harbor just walk out and get this kill?
Denies just a lot of this one.
20 seconds. Weird
Durian
round.
is so close to the rest of them, but they haven't planted anything just yet. The miss of the bullets, but Russ is there to
15
back
seconds
up
to get
his
this plant.
teammate,
They have
and
no
Egoist,
idea where
who's
this guy
the
is.
Egoist,
Someone else needs to
is
help this
left
guy
into
clear
a 3
sight,
versus
surely?
1. He can get close. He might be able to find Russ and Member here, but
Nice trades in the end.
convert. And Global
Bleed.
Esports once
Win a round.
again
Lose the
find
next.
the opening. Not this
The
time on
amount of
A,
times
but
that this
on
has happened
B.
is just non-stop. No money once again.
And it's just, it's really, I really want to like keep believing in this Yay hype train, but at some point, you know, I'm going to let the devs talk about it. Meanwhile, let's talk about what's good, right? Because Global Esports, with the way that they're pushing in like this, yes, Crazy Guy got some couple of good shots in, but then they immediately knew how to recover off of it. Blaze King coming back in, always good for the trades, always good to clean things up.
Lexi's laying down the lore in the YouTube chat.
You're absolutely right.
Pung, thank you so much for the 3 months, bro. Appreciate you.
As Global Esports,
Yeah, it gets a little bit wild sometimes. You're not wrong.
They're so quick to realize whether it's a good play to follow up on or not. Bleed cannot
The emotions
make
are high.
these many mistakes, right? And Ye got 2 crucial mistakes laid out in front of Global. First one was, of course, the whiff that we saw in Polvi, and the second one was just not giving up the tailwind to reposition quickly enough to get back into, you know, better cover. Sure, you're gonna lose your map control, but at least you still have your life to try to retake the site with the rest of Bleed. So, again, Global realizing this and challenging that.
Ray graphics as well, 11.
The South Asian team.
It was only the other day that was 10. Thanks so much, Ray.
Asarai. Global Esports,
Thanks for the
what
prime.
a day.
Appreciate the support
First
as
of all,
always,
winning
man.
both pistols from the previous map, now coming up huge in such a fashion.
The
They started
specific
off
chat
this
is
first
brutal.
half
Dude,
maybe using
somehow,
the pistol,
but
as soon as they came in
I
with
thought
that
we
force fight,
peaked at
breaking and
Sentinels
wrecking
games. I
the
thought the chat
economy,
was
they
the worst
managed
at
to find
Sentinel
this
games, but
momentum,
honestly, I think
and
the
they are
chat
not
is
looking
worse
to slow
for
down. So far, the default
GE
towards
games.
the start has
Maybe
been to
it's
take things slow
the
and
added
easy,
effect of
but off
Bleed
the
being
timeout,
here
they
as well
want
with
to let
Ye.
it rip. Oh!
Crazy Guy's letting it rip, though. He's letting his
It is
presence
savage.
known. It's a bait and switch play between him and Ye. That was a huge one. They realized that Crazy Guy is consistent as ever, even through all of these mishaps that Bleed have put themselves into.
Okay, this is one of the first times where Bleed actually win out a trade and have an advantage. Because it is, I swear, the trades have always been for GE. They've been really good at just having, like,
elsewhere on the map.
very nice spacing.
I don't know if these movements are felt. Ego
This is a classic. Turret contact, you need to swing off the turret.
To really kind of reinforce
2
the
people here, though.
mid-ground, although it's not really
Turret
been a
contact
lane
swing.
that Global has explored before.
Oh.
I don't know how much this Stinger can do, though. Spots the shoulder, goes in for the spray, tries to reload. But it's a quick trade. Now, B site might be open unless Scary can turn things around.
Is Blaze King already gave away his position on yellow? Well, regardless,
Blaze King
Scary is
1v3.
pretty much aware of what could happen here right in front of him.
Okay,
And
nice
makes
round
quick
from
work
Bleed.
of Blaze
Let's see
King.
if they can actually,
Bleed come
not that
back
it
to
matters for the
strike.
econ, but let's just see if they can actually win 2 in a row. Because
For one round,
been impossible.
off of plays from, you know, Egoist, Darian, Crazy Guy.
Crazy Guy 1 away
4-7.
from his ult, so
Last round of the-
potentially
the
from
first
GE
half.
you would want to
Ye's
see
still on
maybe
that
a
operator.
Look at that.
maybe you would want to see a
I love the bait
shocker
and switch, man.
molly
Guys
over
always
towards
the
the
first
AWP here
pick that
from
happens.
GE.
You know?
I got 2.
That he did.
And yeah, we're
That
pinging
is a
it. Looks like
mathematician.
we see the.
More than that, he's a crazy good Valorant player.
No, we don't. And he goes
All right,
for
let's
it.
see what happens here.
Okay,
Null
gets
Command's been
insta tagged.
activated
Actually, their
already.
punish was
There's the
way
utilization
better.
of the
Yeah, their
Null
punish was
Command.
way
No
better. They
escape
knew
here
they were going to be
for
going for the
Ye.
AWP here. A little bit greedy
He only
potentially.
gets the shutdown on the 1. Lightning fast in the rest of Global Esports.
Step ahead
as
from
they
GE.
just keep getting kill after kill
A
after
much
kill.
better
Leaves
showing than when we
Scary
first
to
saw
his
them.
Devices. And unfortunately, Lightning Fast is just too quick for him
8.
to deal, leaving us with a 4-8 as we end the first half.
8 and they lost pistol.
Quick pushes. Again, I mean, same thing from Global Esports. Earlier on, it kind of got halted because of Crazy Guy and, you know, maybe a bit of luck, maybe a bit of skill and knowing how to fake them out. But this time, as Global Esports push in a lot tighter, you know, shoulder to shoulder, back to back, everyone chips in. And then the Null Command to really just feels bad for Ye, but counters him outright. Gets the 1, but that is it. And then everything else flowing through. The rest of the squad from Bleed, you know, they just weren't really quite in position to gun them down. They tried to go in for some of these fights, but then just ultimately lost out in full. Global Esports, this execute, Russ, Null Command on the KO, everyone else picking up on these frags as well. Just the next level.
Yeah, sorry, I saw Polvi, you know, just wink a little bit at the camera, you know. Dude's having fun. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. It just feels like Bleed, they put themselves in a position where it could work if they didn't have such a cold hand in this second map, right? There are positions or situations where you saw that Ye could have gotten so much impact, but just fell short of. And it's always, it feels like some of these crucial rounds is just that.
We're
It's just
heavy on the
that
guns for
one
this.
falling short of,
double
Unfortunately for
sheriff
Bleed here,
on the
that
Viper
means that Global
and
picks up
the
a
Killjoy.
4-round advantage
GE decide to go 3 aggro over towards B. We might see a
Precisely
6-person
that.
duel here. Honestly, the
And
Viper's
now, you
probably
know,
just... Actually, wait.
feeling this
The Viper
4-round
doesn't have
advantage.
a smoke for
Global
mid,
could
so...
potentially end this 2-0 moving forward in kickoffs. Whereas Bleed, dude, like, this is not how you want to start.
What are they going to do? Just try bait in, or are they going
right
aggro?
Here. Who wants it more?
Well, Povey seems
Are
to
they
say
gonna
I
bait
do
in? And
with
honestly,
that first pick on Crazy Guy. Trade for trade, though, but Ye is down to 45.
the good news about
Still
this is they can kind of
for
get info
Global
early and then realize
here
it's A.
on B long between Russ and Lightning Fast. And it seems like Bleed only cut a little bit of that noise, you know, looking for that rotation out. But they still want to push this up. Global Esports holding their position. Russ, I don't know if he spotted Ye here or if Ye's going to check the corner, and it is trigger discipline. Ye has, oh my god, Lightning Fast. Does get the trade-off, down to 4 bullets, and he will get immediately dealt with by the rest of Bleed. Bleed now. He's slowly creeping up onto the B side. One playing at the back of things. Benkai swings out. Fortunately, everybody's just too quick. Blaze King does
I
get the
just
good
got this
trade.
one down.
Does he know about the late lurk here from
Wait.
Egoist on mid that Recon Dart will expose? So his suspicions
we
are
go.
correct. Big tags, one more, and he will be
lovely
able to
shots.
get that. Bleed gets it.
Ah, man.
And I just
Lightning
heard it.
Fast should have done better here.
Very loud, nice.
Gonna be disappointed with that.
One of the players of Bleed.
Wanting to keep spirits up, right? You win the pistol again. I'm not sure if Global's going to force this time, or yeah, probably not. Considering the fact also they're starting out on defense, there's not too much that you know. So this round really just came down to
Yeah,
these
and honestly, part of that was Russ, because the potentially Russ, potentially the comms, because it's like the trigger discipline, he wants to try get 2, but then Russ is peeking and he wants to make sure that he doesn't die on sight, because then it looks like he's baiting, but the whole job is for him to be baiting. Yeah, it was just like it's pretty unfortunate.
The quicker the better.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh.
We could blame him, but we
There's
could
still a lot of bottom
definitely
mid, so
share
even if
some
they overpush
blame
this,
towards
it
Russ
should
there.
give away their
Shouldn't be
position,
peeking
so
with that.
The only undetected rotation that Global can do right now is either push out of 2, go underneath orange, but even then, right, that will be cleared up by Bleed once they start pushing in on B here.
I like the idea from G on this eco. They have a turret that spots like the close angle to them swinging, right? So we'd spot here, and then they all swing off the turret contact if someone does go middle. And then now they at least have a faster flank. Lombok goes down. This is a chance for Egoist to farm.
Does get
not
over
farming,
well.
but he gets a lot of
How much
damage.
damage did he tag the rest of the flankers?
Someone farms
a fair
there.
amount, so they will be able to clear up a weapon. And they go the other direction. I love this from Global. They're just like, yeah, they're going to expect us on B main. Let's just push on orange. We'll use the body system. You know, it's not us as buddies. It's us using you as a body shield as they push up into the side as a 4-man. Look at this. They're just going to waterfall to the side. I love the idea. But of course, Bleed, all they got to do is set their crosshairs to eliminate. And boy, will they. Russ down to 4. I mean, if he can keep them inside this event horizon radius, this could be a good thrifty round for Global, as the rest of Bleed are just running for dear life. Who will die? Yay, so I feel like
took
it's
down
still
Ye
a
with
win
him.
here for Global in a way.
Take some guns away from them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
they actually did really good. 3 kills in the eco.
That's a nice way to put it. You know, throw bodies at the solution. It's a pistol round anyway. You know you're not going to be able to get away with too much, especially when the Bleed players are that sharp. So do what you can. Even Crazy Guy's laughing at it.
Yeah, he realizes what happened too.
But as
Ovi,
reality sets
no
back in,
armor.
next round,
Op.
you've lost 3 guns. You can't really do
Against
all too much
the
in this one.
bonus,
Holding now on the
this one
operator.
is risky.
No armor whatsoever though, so full on glass cannon. This could either be a really good pickup for Bleed.
Knife
if
goes
Ovi
in,
dies,
spots a lot of people.
Or, you know, Global gets to hold on to
Ovi
it,
holds
and,
strong.
make some
And
damage
still
happen on
clears out
another
the
game.
info over towards B.
Durian
Bleed's kind of
is
happy
sitting
that they
on
got hit by
Griffin,
the
by
knife.
way.
Feeling
Yes,
like
there
they've
it
done
is. As
enough
soon as
pressure
I
with the
mention it,
Harbor Wall.
activates it straight
Harbor
up.
ult comes in.
Are they going to push through this though? I mean, yeah, they can get
Nice
those
shot.
stuns working for them, but how
Nice
well
overwhelm.
can they trade?
Russ.
Pretty damn well actually here for Bleed. Russ is by himself, the back of the site, holding on. and he will be able to shut down Ye.
There's loads of times in this game
Versus
so
three
far
here.
where Russ has
Cove
got that
gives
extra
some
kill.
entryway here for Durian,
Oh,
who was able to
not
pick
bad.
up a rifle, picks down Russ, and is making it a very good case right now that Bleed's bonus is
This guy top sight though.
successful. The swing out, the trade in. Durian's been spotted on Heaven, and Benkai in a 1 versus 1. Can the former Paper X player do it? Unfortunately
Five.
not. As Durian
5
clutches for
HP.
the 4K, and Bleed are inching their lead even closer to Global.
Big 1v2 from him.
Definitely
They
felt
win
like
the
it was
bonus.
Benkai's kill to half, but Darian,
Oh, we have a game
in
now.
such a dire situation, still able to put himself up on top. I mean, think about how they just approached it. Yeah, you mentioned it. Darian has been giving some bits of good decision making all throughout. You know, whether it's the Cove from before or the Reckoning in this round, and then the kill towards the end. Just good sense as to where Benkai would be.
And you also, you know, go back on the point where you have Polvi with that glass cannon. Expensive round, so that's really going to merit the hard save here from Global. Maybe just a couple of flashes, couple of those shock darts, but other than that, it's all classics all the time. Ye puts himself up on the boost spot on Generator. Does get the pick onto Russ here. Wow. And they're just going into his crosshairs. He does take a bit of damage, but that's just a pistol, man. That's not going to take him down very quickly. Benkai,
Oh my god. 20 HP, almost another.
A takedown. But Bleed's been pretty clean these past couple of rounds, and it's all down to Polvi now, who is very far from the situation.
I just got to play his game.
Needs to make sure that he goes down.
You know?
You can't say that.
1v4.
You know, it's the Radiant
Zob.
Entertainment system. It's his,
Thank you so much.
it's his Radiant.
Appreciate the 5 months. Thank you for the prime.
Radiant voice.
Thanks for the
There we
support,
go.
mate.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
Copyright infringement, man.
RES. I mean, at the very least, yeah, still want to go for that round loss bonus. But on the other hand, now Ye starting to open things up. Starting to look a little bit better for Bleed as they tie things up with the score.
Yeah. Global Esports are stumped. Ever since, you know, the second half happened, it's a 4 straight round here for Bleed. And now we're equalized up. And I do like this for Ye. Again, as I mentioned, he's been on the cold hand for the most part in these 2 games. And it's only here in the second half that he's started to get his groove back. And that is so important right now for
Yeah,
Bleed,
and I like this
because, again,
timeout.
they
We've
put
only
him on
seen
the duel list
one buy
knowing
round
what he could
from
do.
GE
And
so
if he's
far,
able to do
but
it, well, you're seeing
they got to
Bleed
kind of make sure
reap
that
the
they win
benefits.
this one.
Yeah, starting to feel it a little bit more. But again, 8-8. And now the timeout being called by Global Esports. Coach Spin, I wonder what he's had to say. The defenses on this site, I mean, or in this map at the very least, is starting to feel a little bit more static, a little bit more difficult. Especially when you have so many elevated
Do I like
positions,
Bleed's
right?
comp?
You have
Yeah,
pipes,
it's good
you got
comp.
410, and Ye
Nothing really
definitely
to
knows
set
how
up
make
Ye.
use of some of these
Don't
spots.
really need to set up too much on this map.
Bleed Esports following in on it. So Global Esports, I mean, so far
Icebox
we've
is its
seen,
own
you know,
little,
some interesting ideas, especially
own
on the
little
pistol.
beast. It is
Maybe
nice having
they'll
like a
start
pocket
to,
KO. Don't get me wrong,
to
but
explore other parts of the map. Maybe
Yeah.
set up some flanks around mid and whatnot.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Polvi hasn't been in that initial contact against Bleed in the second half for the most part, right?
okay.
The time that he
Harbor,
bought that operator, he was on
nightmare
B.
for GE.
I mean, there was a point where he was
So,
on A, but that was just a
dude,
hard
a
save
Bleed
for
really
Global,
not
so I think that doesn't
gonna-
count. But anything
I mean, I
else
guess
when they had
they don't
rifles,
need to.
It's always just
I was
been
looking at the ults thinking maybe
Global
they would try and
Esports
punish
round
this,
Polvi
but the
up
fact that
against
it's
Bleed in
actually
that first
just the
contact, and
knives
that might actually be a
makes
big
sense.
factor as to
Benkai gets
how
early
the
info.
firepower for Global
Are it for
has
under
maybe
and
significantly gone
an
down,
alarm bot
because
here
again,
as
he's
well.
not on the site with them.
Harbor will overwhelm. It might just be a harbor, and
Just
then
gotta
like you can dash on people with the jet.
really take
It's
things
pretty
slow
good
at
with
least.
harbor. Everyone's trying
Again,
to
not
dodge,
wanting
and
to
you can
make
just
any mistakes so far.
free farm.
The lead is something
Recon
that they want to
is the
keep
recon
for
that
the
can't
side
get
of
shot
Global
over towards
Esports.
sight. Checks behind yellow.
Placing swamp grenade.
That gonna do enough damage to stop him from planting?
Nah, he gets a plant
It
there.
does not.
And
Crazy
we're actually
guy,
quite a few people away.
successful with it. This is gonna be a
And they still have
full-blown
harbor.
retake. Lightning
Once they get into
fast.
this area, we probably just
Ooh,
pull
he's
the
already
harbor.
committed to
Yeah.
wall, and Durion's always have
Is
his reckoning
next
up
to
and
impossible
running already
retake.
here, and that's always to the benefit
Oh my
right
goodness.
now for
Okay,
Bleed.
maybe possible
that
if
onto
lightning
Ye.
fast
Gonna make it a little bit better
creates
for
a lot of pressure behind.
the onslaught of Global Esports, but here comes
Okay,
lightning
that's-
fast.
I mean,
and
that's
Crazy
pressure.
Guy made the mistake of the jump spot.
Yeah, and Scary
That's
needs to
gonna be
start
something
doing
bad
this.
for him. It's already halved, so unless Scary can really do something other than just these post-plant throws, I don't think it's going to be enough. Maybe Egoist can get him, yes! Oh my god, that's actually
Wait, watch the
absolutely
HP.
phenomenal. Time is
Damn.
enough for Scary to clutch it.
Just enough. The mollies were good and the swing was everything. This was
The
close.
efforts of Egoist, man.
How does he have so many lineups? It's like, it's awesome in the sense that like it wins Bleed the round, but it's always like a little bit annoying to watch because it's just a snake fight that wins in the round. I mean, sound plan, sound strats from Bleed Esports. First of all, like you mentioned, Asarai, that Reckoning, always up and at the ready, it just buys a bit more time away from Bleed. I mean, from Global Esports. So both teams are kind of doing the same thing back to each other. We saw that Nanostorm plus Russ's Fragment from
Late
before. Now
recon
it's
out
going to be
towards here for
Scary's
them to push. They
snake
can
fight.
drone at the same time. The nice
As we
recon
move on
doesn't
into
get
the
shot. It
next,
clears
it's
back
gonna
a
be
yellow.
Gay. It's trying to
Go
open
fast
things
with
up,
this.
dashes in,
Is the molly popped
doesn't
at a
see
better
anything.
time? Shot goes in, does miss the molly.
It's just instantly
And
going
they
for
plant a little
another
bit more
plant.
out in the open.
Kind of the spike just a little bit
Yeah,
off
very
center
nice. It's
there,
a good
so
change
the
of
pop
pace
shots
from
Blaze
Bleed
King
as well.
can't really get
Been
through
relatively
it.
slow up until this round.
Through that high tide. Big flank coming in from Polvi here. No utilities activated just yet. Here comes the flank. There's the use on the Hunter's Fury from the other side to break down that Killjoy ultimate.
So yeah,
Once this wall drops
knife
down,
hit.
all hell
So
will break
Polvi
loose,
wanted to
and
try
who will
take
come
the
out on top? It's
opportunity,
actually gonna
and
be
they
Global
just
with the
insta-stick
defuse.
this.
All of the
There's
confusion
no
from the
way.
rest of the players sacrificing their
Yeah,
lives
so
for the
Killjoy
greater
ult
cause.
pushes
That's
them
gonna
all
be
the way
Global
back. They're dealing with the
evening
people
things out.
behind,
Their
and they
first
just
round
smoke the
here in the
fuse.
second half.
War is chaotic, man.
Dude, give me a replay on
I
this.
didn't
I
even
need
notice
to,
that
dude.
happened.
It's one of those
Somehow
rounds
one
I
of
need to
these
watch
Global
again.
Esports players just managed to sneak in along with the lockdown. Polvi trying to buy as much time and attention away from the spike as possible too, coming off the flank. It just was enough for Global Esports to sneak around back.
Shout out to Benkai. Unreal ult.
Because I was also just looking at the fight first in front of us. It got a whole lot chaotic, man. Anyways, not sure if we've mentioned this, but coming into this round, Global Esports, they almost got the whole enchilada. And by that, I mean 4 ultimates in their pockets. Very strong to think about it, because if Egoist uses his lockdown, Hunter's Fury from Blaze King is there to respond, just to break it down. It's always going to be a good thing, because you don't want any extra space-giving abilities to be used by Bleed.
At the very least, I mean, back thinking about it, compositionally speaking, I want to see Garen doing more. Lockdown, Hunter's Fury, just
maybe
as
a bit too greedy.
But at what cost, man? Look at the kills that they've gotten already.
Yeah.
Sure, they can try to break this lockdown.
The good news for GE is they actually insta-rotate over towards this. They're kind of here
Hello,
fast.
B side we go.
Trying to use that
They'll have a
lockdown
drone.
to distract them.
2v3
and
though.
the rotations over, the Hunter's Fury as well. And as the Sova stays stuck in that animation, yeah, the rest of Bleed, this tiny little squad approaches B.
Polvi's coming in. He's using that Sova drone as a drone to give him a little bit of that inside yellow, but it does absolutely nothing. He wanted that firepower alongside with Blaze King.
And
if it
GE
could
win
have
the
been
round
done.
before, lose the
It's
next
not,
one.
so
Kind of having a repeat of
get
what Bleed
another
was struggling
round
with
here.
in the
This is
first half
play
as
that we're
well.
Looking for, man, quick, concise, very sure of the plays that they do. 10-9, they break through onto those double digits.
So that means the game is not yet over. Some of these ultimates were spent.
Been alright today,
thanks to
Bakan.
Egoist's one lockdown.
What a game this has been.
So
They have knives they can buy into.
I mean, back into it, it's just going to be Bleed continuing forth, playing around the map. They've got some of these hits on towards the A side, and if they do get the spike down, there are those post-plant lineups. Same thing can be said for B site. So Global Esports,
They Bleed are pretty far away from a lot of ults. GE, 3 ults, and if they lose this round, they eco. So this is a massive round. If GE win it, they can definitely come back into this and actually gain the lead back. But they're going a little bit aggro with a lot of these ults.
Actually push on B long with this operator. He does have Benkai right beside him. The risk here is exorbitant.
Well,
They're doubled up, aren't they? Yikes! Benkai has
do they expect the second pass and they have a turret?
But no, the turret
He
can
gains
actually
info
spot
if he
him.
swings.
If he comes around the corner here, if he
3
pushes the
people
same
on
angle
A.
that
Stay
Colby did,
strong.
there's still 2 players of Bleed coming in, and I don't even know how Bleed just second guesses someone's going to push them up, and they get that trade for free. There's more trades happening here on
Oh man, they
EA's
just
like,
walked
"Thank you
into
very much.
this.
Even those 2 kills.
Textbook.
Even Benkai and Blaze King.
Just held the
themselves
double
for
angle,
points.
and yeah, G
Because
decides to go
both teams
super
are, you know,
aggro.
it's kinda like the
The
wave,
reads
the
right now
mood,
from
really
Bleed in terms
pushing
of the
and pulling
calling's
with
been really good.
gravity. Blaze King trying to play off of some of these timings on the peaks, but it's not quite going to be enough. Always trying to get a good read for some of these rotations, but without, you know, really confirming the information. As soon as they peek out, it's always, you know, thinking
And then
like,
yeah, here
"All
begins the
we
hunt.
saw a little bit of presence towards B garage. Maybe I can push out onto pipes. If I do, EA is there, and it just goes back and forth.
They got money. They're chasing Benkai down. They don't want this operator getting value. They spot the alarm bot being brought down. Now,
Ain't nothing into the
work their
next
magic.
one.
One in the front, one in
And
the back.
that probably should
That's
be
gonna
it.
take away the operator's
2-4 on
hands
top
from
of this,
Benkai,
everyone's sitting
ultimately
around
away from
2-5,
Colby.
2-6.
This has truly been turned on its head, Quack. Global Esports had such a dominant second half, or first half, excuse me. And then we get something like this.
Yeah, starting to put lead back up on top.
Enemy remaining.
1 round away from match, or at least map point.
Push, always. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
That's some of these things, you
That's
know?
the calls, man.
It's so good.
IGL figuring things out.
I talked about the rotations. They just sit still. And
I
then
mean, yeah,
just kinda
he
sometimes
was
it
he was
happens.
spot on.
Earlier on, it was Bleed with some of these executes towards sites, and then they managed to break apart Global. Afterwards, you know, it's just kind of take things a little bit slow, and then Global starts to think, I need to push. If they do, they get punished for it, and now, you know, just only the timeout could potentially save them from something. Because if you are to push, you're gonna need a lot more team effort. You're gonna need some of that execution, and perhaps Coach Spin might have spotted something out.
Well, he needs to spot something out. I mean, you know, win or lose, they still
Why they're
will
so
get
aggro with the op.
that map 3.
The thing that,
But
see, I don't mind
I
going
mean,
too
this
aggro with
has
the op.
been a
The thing that
grueling
I
grind for both
disliked the
teams.
most was that they went so aggro with the ults.
Timeout
Like, you don't
called
need to.
into
When you have those
just the
ults, sometimes
upgrade
it's better to
pistols
let the people
for
with the
Global
ults
as
like
well.
have their play. Especially with like a Viper ult.
Wolvie
Kind of
does
just
have those
wanna
blades.
funnel them into the Viper ult more than making a play on
This
the
is
other
gonna be
side.
an odd round to say the least.
Fair enough.
Relegated to Bleed, they will pick up that map point. Although it is not too
But yeah,
many
I kind
rounds
of
that
agree
Global
with
needs to
Voight
push
is
this
saying
into an
in
overtime.
terms of that sense.
But I mean,
This recon
This is
every
like the
single
second
time
Awaken
is
for-
just
Awaken, excuse me, for
scanning
Bleed as
all
well,
the
right?
back
So-
of yellow. Like this recon is never getting shot,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we
how did
just
he
get
deal with the
free
bleed that-
info.
possibly could go into map point. Big
Got
flash in the
numbers
back
here,
of the
though,
site.
maybe.
Or rather, excuse me, Yay just backs away. Quick little flash. Crazy guy chasing the kill here on Snowman. And Polby somehow manages to pick up a couple of kills. If he can reset the blades, that's going to be huge. Spike has been denied the plant. Drops right down into the site, doubles up with his teammates. They're a little bit too much
gets
constricted
5
here, but
knives back
Polby
from that.
finds it once again. The Finnish superstar brings it all the way
Wait,
back.
what?
Never mind. Yay with a turnaround, 183K.
How?
And we go to map point.
I gotta see it from Ye's POV.
How?
Was it a spray transfer? Was it
How?
taps? Whatever it
That
was,
doesn't.
he
That
got
should be
all those
impossible.
3 kills. And while Global Esports with their setup, with Polby's knives almost turning things around for Global Esports, Ye shuts
Oh,
them down and
boy.
lined up for him.
Look at that smile. El Diablo. Imported. Man.
Okay, 3
showing
chances
us
to close
why
this one
the
out.
Import is here. Why Bleed have committed to this tier 1 superstar
That was nuts.
from NA. Polvy's now back on the operator. Once this wall drops down, there's a chance for contact. Couple of players of Bleed already right in front for the picking. Fortunately, he whiffs that first shot. He's gonna go for a second chance. You've heard Crazy Guy a while ago. He's like, they keep peeking, they keep pushing. Yes!
Another time
that
where this
guard as
scans
well.
over
Colby
towards it.
might
This
be
was the
forced back
better
right now.
This was the better recon though. Again, the one that kind of tucks behind here, and you can only see it from like beyond this point. So you kind of gotta get real aggro with it in front of the wall.
Positioning. Now the
So Bleed's attack default over towards B is so strong.
Might be on site. High Tide blocks up a lot as well, but Blaze King, good spray this time.
Oh, and Harbor is tanking that molly. They get a plant,
just
but
popped a couple of shots through the smoke.
Scary,
Blaze King, a
double
massive
mollies.
tracer.
We have no one flanking, so GE need to at
Bringing up
least
back
tap the
pain to
spike
the source
fast.
of, to the point of origin.
They do have KO ult though.
It's a huge fragment.
Yeah,
Here
KO
comes
ult
Russ
goes in.
activating.
We have to
No
keep an
command
eye on the
already.
low HP Harbor
He's gonna
flanking
have
around
to
the
get a
world.
couple of impact kills here, or else it's just going to be all for naught. Ego is going to be doing his darndest
Oh,
again.
we
He
just
did it
stick
a while
this.
ago with Scary,
Yeah,
but
we
not
just
gonna
stick
happen
this.
this
Lightning
time.
fast,
And
just
Global
pops his ult,
Esports
sticks the molly.
holding on to the knife's edge, living to fight for another day.
That's literally how they've got both of their rounds, by the way. Just fast stick
rushing
and
in
just send
to
it.
Get that spike defused. Very interesting. And I mean, the null command
Okay,
was
3 down to 2.
expended for that
They used a
retake
lot
as
of
well,
ults
so you
though.
gotta
KO,
think,
Viper.
although it is a few more rounds left, and the Reckoning was used, you've got Yang has the Blade Storm available. You've got a couple more bits of utility on the side of Bleed Esports. Global Esports has to, you know, walk around a tight rope right now. Egoist with that lockdown. Okay, there it is, picked up.
Yays.
This is the first time as well now that he
gaming.
wants to play yellow,
Yeah,
but we
just
actually
hold
see
the
a good
position if
positioning in
anyone
terms
pushes
of
over.
being able to shoot
Egoist
the recon
wants
that
to go
goes
up
back
front,
here.
Close enough around pipes
So,
to set that lockdown.
nice adjustment, at least from GE on this one, but
Then
Bleed,
we'll have the A site. Then it's
not
gonna
even
be a
bothering
retake
with B.
slash numbers game. Unless Lightning Fast or Rust can really fend them
Oh,
off.
are they going to go?
They're making a lot of noise.
Okay, there's 0 point.
They're not going to go
Lockdown's been
aggro.
activated already. They're still holding the
They
angle.
got
here
to
on
accept
Maze.
this one. Nade goes in.
Lockdown does clear up
It's
most of
on
the site
point.
itself, and I think, Bleed
Again,
was
the
able to
nade
spot
can't break
nobody
it, it
dump
just needs to
themselves
be in the
corner
middle.
Back, but they haven't really pushed up to the site itself. Are they going to do it now or go in the opposite direction? Seems like it's going to be a commitment. This is very hairy here for Bleed. Global Esports, they've tucked themselves into corners. Scary's got the first pick, but Bobby's right here holding on. Cannot for Blaze King. And it has gone topsy-turvy on either side. Lightning Fast. Anchoring, hoping, praying that he can
Crazy
maybe
guy.
get something before.
Crazy,
or rather,
crazy
as
guy.
you
It's
wait
stay
for
alive here.
Bankai to come in for the
Oh
play, and
boy,
Bankai comes up
1v3,
huge.
10 HP,
1
no
versus
plant.
1. It's him and Scary. 20 seconds. Scary's gonna have to pick up the spike, but look at this. Bankai's down to 10. Scary, all he needs is 1 bullet, a hair, a whiff, and that might be it. No doubt. He misses this, and
How'd you
Scary
get off the
gets
spike
it.
so fast in
Bankai
this
has the
game?
opportunity, but
Okay,
it is
third map it
denied,
is.
and Bleed pushes
Dude, they had a
into
very
map
nice
number
attack
3.
half. Their B default is really, really good.
Then we will be truly in for a bit of a surprise. I mean, both teams kind of leaving this next
say
map
B
open.
default,
It's
they're
going to
just
be
B hit, I
split.
guess.
We showed us a little bit of it against T1.